Is that even a thing? Is every 23rd of the month the Michael Jordan Day? I think we should make that a thing. Every 23rd day of the month is going to, from now until forevermore, be known as Michael Jordan Day. Day number 23 of Fabmas. Hello, hello, beautiful Facebook people. I hope you are doing well on this beautiful day. Like I do every time I go live, I am going to be simulcasting here on Facebook and on Instagram. So just pause for the cause, and I'm going to bring on the Instagram crew so we can get to the nitty gritty because I am excited about today's topic. Stand by. Hello, Instagram. How are y'all doing today on this beautiful, beautiful day? I just told the folks over on Facebook that every 23rd day of the month from now until forevermore should be known as Michael Jordan Day because it's the 23rd, right? Anyhow, 23rd day of Fabmas. We have been going live. We're on a streak. 22 days in a row. This is day number 23. We have one more day left of Fabmas after today, and I'm excited about today's discussion, today's topic of conversation, because it is one that I feel like needs to be addressed quite often. It needs to be a gentle reminder for people to hear and for people to read and for people to watch on a regular basis. And that is the truth about your personal brand. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have been rocking with me since 2008, when I first emerged on the internet, welcome back. Or even if you haven't been here that long, but you've been rocking with me for the past 22 days of Fabmas, welcome back. My name is Nick Scott. I am a personal brand coach. I help women entrepreneurs establish their credibility, amplify their expertise, and increase awareness for their business. And we do all of that through specific strategies utilizing their personal brand. And so we are at the very tail end of Fabmas. And what is Fabmas? Fabmas was a challenge that I gave myself. It was something that I challenged myself to do, and that was to show up live for my audience to talk about all things mindset, business, and branding for the first 24 days of December. And like I said, we're at the tail end of that. So today I want to talk to you about the truth about your personal brand. The truth, Ruth, about your personal brand, because the fact of the matter is I've been seeing a lot of misinformation going around the internet and on social media about personal branding. So I've been seeing a lot of coaches advising you and advising their clients and advising whoever comes across their content that your personal brand is about the way you wear your hair. Or your personal brand is the color scheme of your graphics or of your logo, or that your personal brand is the fonts that you choose to use on your website, and so many other things. And as someone who has been in this space and in this industry for a long time, I will say, yes, those are definitely aspects of your brand as a whole, right? When you think about a company brand, when a company goes through a rebrand, or when they're introducing their brand to their target audience or to the market, that those are things, not necessarily the hairstyle, but in terms of fonts and logos and colors and things like that, those are things that they certainly take into consideration in their branding strategy, right? But unlike a corporate brand, a personal brand is a little bit different, because none of those things are actually your personal brand. And they're definitely not your personal brand when we are committed to leveraging our personal brand to build a profitable business. Okay, so yes, those things make up your brand as a whole, your company brand, right? And remember, we have had this conversation before about you being a business. So treating yourself as if you are a business. So yes, those things, they have an impact on perception. They have an impact on reputation. But again, those aren't specifically your personal brand. And especially when you're committed to leveraging your personal brand to build a profitable business. So let's get into the definition, the Nick Scott definition of what is a personal brand, right? If you've never heard it before, and I want to just preface this by saying that this is my definition of personal branding. This isn't something that I learned when I was in school or somewhere taking a class somewhere. This is my definition of personal branding, and I feel like it really drives home the point number one, that everybody already has a personal brand, and two, it's not necessarily about those visually pretty things, right? So what is your personal brand? Your personal brand is a widely recognized impression of you based on your experiences, both your professional and your personal experiences, your expertise, your competencies, or your actions based in a certain industry or a niche. Now I'm going to read that again, and I want to read it all together as one sentence. Okay. So your personal brand is a widely recognized impression of you based on your experience, expertise, competencies, and or actions within your industry and your niche. So I want you to notice something. I didn't say anything about colors. I didn't say anything about graphics or fonts. I didn't say anything about the way you choose to dress or the way you wear your hair, right? Again, those are all aspects of your brand. And even that definition that I just gave you, I would even consider that definition to be very surface level. Like that to me is just a baseline of your personal brand. Because just like a company's branding strategy, think about some of your favorite companies and how they've introduced themselves to the marketplace. What type of messaging that they use, how often are they showing up for their audiences, how do they engage with their audiences. So much like a company brand, that definition I gave you is just the baseline of a personal brand, because when you go deeper than that, at the core, the nucleus, that heartbeat of your personal brand, it is the relationship that you have with your target audience. And I know that's a different way to think about branding and to think about your personal brand, but that's truly what it is. When you think about personal branding, yes, I want you to understand that it is that widely recognized impression of who you are based on your experiences, your expertise, your actions, and your competencies. But I also want you to think about that relationship that you have with your target audiences. What is the experience that you are giving to your audience every single time you show up? What is that intentional and purposeful experience, that strategic experience that you give to your audience every single time you show up? Again, think about some of your favorite brands and how they interact with you and what that complete and total experience is like. From the time that your audience is introduced to you, from the time that they come across whatever piece of content or however it is that they find you, what is their experience like? We've all had those situations where we walk into a store, right? And nobody greets us. How does that make you feel? Think about that in terms of your personal brand. Or we've gone to the store where as soon as we walk in the door, it's like they're all over us like white on rice. And then we've also been to the store in a situation where, there was a nice even balance between the two. So think about your personal brand as an experience. Think about how you're showing up to your audience. Are you completely ghost with your audience? Like, when you walk into the store or into a restaurant and you're just standing at the hostess stand because it says, please wait to be seated. That's what the sign says. And you're just standing there. You look at your watch and it's like, 5 minutes has gone by and nobody has greeted me, right? Or are you or is your target audience member walking into your brand and seeing and being introduced to your brand, and they're getting a prompt greeting? They are getting a warm welcome, like when you walk into a restaurant and the hostess is right there waiting to greet you. Welcome. How can I help you today? Right? How are you showing up for your audience? How are you showing up for your audience? Now, I mentioned earlier that your personal brand isn't about the way that you wear your hair or whether or not you wear makeup or how you dress. However, I also said that your personal brand was about the experience and the relationship that you have with your target audience, right? So all of those things make up the totality of who you are as a brand and as a business, the business called you, right? So how are you showing up? I encourage everyone, if you are a coach, a consultant, a leader, a service provider, a small business owner, or an entrepreneur, or someone who is committed to using their personal brand and leveraging it to create a profitable business, I encourage everybody to do video. At the very least, I encourage people to do video. How you choose to do video, it's fine. But how are you showing up on these videos, y'all? Because some of y'all are showing up as if you are not a business. As if you are just like, I don't know, right? Like, some of you put more pride in how you show up to your workplace than you do to showing up for your own business. And that's a problem. That is a problem. Your personal brand is the relationship that you have with your target audience. It is the experience that you are creating for them. From the moment they meet you on the internet or wherever it is that they meet you, what is that experience like? If your goal of your personal brand is to position you and your company to get premium prices for your products and services, then you yourself have to be committed to showing up as premium. I say it all the time. One of the great benefits of your personal brand is that it positions you to become a gateway for premium prices. And if that's what you want, if you want to get out of the 24/7 hustle, y'all, if you want to start grinding and being focused and getting that premium product and getting those premium prices that you deserve, then you have to start to show up as being premium. You have to. If you expect your target audience to actually pay the prices that you're asking for, you have to treat them like human beings and not just a transaction, y'all. It's about relationships, and transactions are not relationships. Transactions are just that. They're just that. The most successful entrepreneurs and the most successful companies, they actually treat their clients and their customers like human beings. That is a person on the other end of that transaction. That person has feelings. That is a person on the other end of that email. That is a person who is watching your live video. How would you want to be treated, right? The golden rule. Treat your target audience the way that you want to be treated. And that way you can ensure that the experience is going to be at least the level that you would expect, right? So again, thinking about stores. And, if you don't want to be a premium product, that's fine. Like, there's one way or the other, it doesn't really matter. But talk about premium versus non-premium. The first two stores that come to my mind are Walmart and Nordstrom. And the reason those two come to my mind collectively is because they both have these, what I would call, never-ending return policies. Like, you can buy something from Walmart today and then take it back 10 years from now and be like, and they'll take it back, or they'll do something to make sure that you're able to use the money that you paid for that thing back at Walmart. And Nordstrom has a similar return policy, right? Where they are committed to taking care of their customers 100% no matter what. And that's why the two of those stores came to mind right away for me, Walmart and Nordstrom. Two completely different shopping experiences. The lighting in those two places, something as simple as the lighting in those two places are completely different, right? The way that the stores are set up, completely different. The way that you are serviced as a customer, completely different. Now, one is not better than the other, right? Because Walmart is very, very profitable and successful in its own right, just like Nordstrom is very profitable and successful in its own right. But when I say Walmart, what types of images and thoughts and feelings pop up in your head, right? And when I say Nordstrom, what types of images and thoughts and feelings pop up in your head when just by simply saying those words? Because remember, the core, the nucleus, that heartbeat of your personal brand is the relationship. It is the experience that you are providing for your target audience. So think about it kind of like dating. Now, it's been a long time since I was single. I've been married for a very long time. Think about dating, and I watch a lot of dating movies and things like that. But when someone first comes across your brand, think about it as if you are just meeting someone for the first time on a date. So they come across your brand and they're intrigued, right? They're like, ooh, yes. On the surface, everything is attractive about your brand. Everything is well put together about your brand. They like your brand personality. They love the way that you engage with them in discussion, right? They are attracted to you and they're hooked, right? Just like a first date, you know from the very first date whether this is going to be a second date or not. So then after you've been dating somebody for a while, two things can happen. What you did to get them, you're not doing it anymore. They say what it took to get them is what it's going to take to keep them. Or the second thing, what you did to get them, you're continuing to do to keep them, and then some. Like you're constantly up leveling your game. Like you're like, this is my boo. This is my man, honey, and I am about to do what I got to do to make sure that this man is satisfied, right? Think about your personal brand like a date, like you're dating. Your personal brand has the ability to transform your business in ways that you cannot imagine. But it does, y'all. It starts with you. It starts with you understanding that your personal brand is much, much, much more than just that surface level stuff. And it's definitely not only the colors that you're choosing for your logo, and it's definitely not the fonts that you're choosing for your website. Remember, all of those components make up your brand, but that's not your personal brand. That heartbeat, that nucleus, the center, the core of your personal brand is the experience that you are providing for your target audience. Okay? So how are you leaning into all of the aspects of your personal brand and all of the aspects of who you are? And how are you using those attributes to create unforgettable experiences for your audience? From the time that they first come across you, all the way through 5-10 years later, how are you leaning into those aspects of who you are, and how are you using them to create unforgettable, meaningful connections and experiences for your audience? So I have a question for you. If you are ready, and are you ready to create a profitable and sustainable personal brand? Because if you are, I invite you to download the roadmap. You can find the roadmap on my website at www.inickscott.com/roadmap. That is www.inickscott.com/roadmap. And there you will find a page for you to enter your information to get the free roadmap. In the roadmap, you're going to find 7 simple steps for you to to follow to make sure that you are set up to create a personal brand that will be profitable and sustainable for your business. So don't just get the roadmap, y'all. I want you to actually open it and read it and take the steps, okay? If you are on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio to get your roadmap. If you are on Facebook, you can click the link that is right in the description, caption section of this post, and you can get your roadmap. Let's get this thing started, y'all. Your time is now. It is time for you to step up your game. It is time for you to get out of your comfort zone. It is time for you, and I'm going to use the words of one of my clients. It is time for you to be unleashed in every sense of the word. Unleashed in who you are, unleashed in what you stand for, unleashed in who you serve. It is time. Your time is now. So let's get busy. Okay? So this has been episode number 23. Michael Jordan, the Jordan Day. Episode number 23 of Fabmas. And my name is Nick Scott. I am your personal brand coach. And I help female entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs. I help women entrepreneurs establish, grow, and maintain their personal brand. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. And I will see you in the next one. All right? Bye.